Thank you, Madam President. I want to speak from the experience that I had as the executive director at Sandy Hook Promise in Newtown, working on a daily basis with the founders of that nonprofit who founded in memory of their young sons after they were killed. And the impact that I saw in their faces, in decisions that they made to try to save other families and save other children, and the work they did across the country to prevent gun violence, and the fact that they were the go-to people every time there was a shooting, that the impact of gun violence on the entire organization, on everyone who worked there, on the fact that every single day we were aware of children being shot, children being killed in schools, in mass shootings, and that feeling, that trauma, informed everything we did to try and make the world a better place. Last summer, I talked to a lot of people at their doors, talked to fathers, talked to mothers who were scared to death to put their kindergarten, their child on the bus to go to kindergarten in the fall. They were afraid because they knew that their child was going to have to do an active shooter drill. And they were in tears. And they questioned, why do we have a country that allows their children to be traumatized by this active shooter drill, to be traumatized by knowing that they had to hide and be worried about going to school. I heard from teenagers in my district about the fact that they congratulated each other at graduation because they weren't killed, because they got through school and they were not shot. That is really dark and wrong and should not exist. And we talk about mental health, and people point to mental health as to the reason for shootings. And I would point to the problems we have with mental health, to the fact that we are raising children who do not feel safe in our society. They do not feel safe in their schools. They do not feel safe at rock concerts. They do not feel safe at religious institutions. This is not acceptable. How can we continue to allow guns to be in our society, in our schools? How can we allow this to happen? We need to be protecting our children. We need to take this part of what's happening in our world away so that they don't have to feel the fear. I'm glad my children are grown up and never went through this. And my heart breaks for every parent who has to worry every single day about their child coming home off a bus. It is simply not acceptable. I want to thank everyone who worked on this bill, and the governor, and the advocates who are tireless in the work that they do. And I want to thank the parents from Sandy Hook. I want to thank them for all the work that they have done. Nicole Hockley and Mark Barden, and all the good people who work with them. The good senator who represents Newtown said Sandy Hook is not allowed to go away. And he's right. Sandy Hook, what happened at Sandy Hook is not allowed to go away. And that's because we are not protecting our children and we are not changing our society. We are more willing in this country to ban books than we are willing to protect children and get guns gone. So I rise in support of this bill, and I ask you all around this circle to think about what the impact is on children and what the impact is on parents, and vote this bill into law. Thank you.